Okay, so you know who raised some eyebrows this week when he revealed he had an MRI scan, but he swears it came back perfect. And took aim at some young Democrats he claims can't match wits with him. Take a look.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump.
Okay, wait. So AOC responded on social media asking, out of curiosity, did those doctors ask you to draw a clock by any chance? Was that the hard part for you too? Asking for 340 million people. Jasmine Crockett also weighed in. Take a look.
He doesn't even know what a low IQ is. He don't even know which scores are low. You have a president of the United States who consistently is obsessing over two women of color that are members of the House. You are the president. I don't know what black woman hurt him in his past, honey, but it is really taking him through it.
That was good.
Well, you know, I do want to point out that this seems to be the test that he's bragging about.
Which is it?
Yeah.
So this is an example of a cognitive assessment.
To assess whether or not you have dementia?
Snake, elephant, alligator. Nailed it. Yes, Alyssa. Got it.
By the way, they say that toddlers have passed this with a perfect score, so I don't think it's something he should bring
Well, the
about.
scientist who designed it said this is in no ways indication of IQ because it's a cognitive abilities test.
Yeah.
So it kind of tells you his cognitive abilities that he screwed that.
But the tragedy of this and the scary part is that this person who can tell you the difference between a camel and an elephant has the nuclear codes.
Yeah.
That is what frightens me and keeps me up at night, why I woke up this morning at 4 o'clock. Because I'm worried about the fact that he cannot pass really a cognitive test. And I'd like to know why Jake Tapper, who wrote an entire book about Biden's cognitive abilities and says nothing and writes nothing about this guy.
But I do want to say, as one of the 1 in 3 Americans who didn't want Donald Trump or Joe Biden because I had concerns about their ability to do the job for another 4 years, I don't think that we should be using that as an example. I think that Donald Trump is somebody I don't agree with a lot. I think he gets a lot of things wrong. I think he has poor moral character. I'm not convinced I'm not convinced is fading mentally. I think that he is a man who is invested in longevity. I think that Democrats should focus on beating him on substance, not on he's crazy.
Do you think he knew it was
a
cognitive test and not an IQ test?
I don't know, but I don't think
That's part of the cognitive test.
if you didn't criticize Biden and then now it's like you're criticizing Trump, I feel like you're kind of missing it. Just focus on the issues. He's giving you an array of things to attack.
Like his lack of cognition of what type of test
No,
he
the
took.
economy, the fact that no American can afford anything.
Agreed.
Right now.
I just laughed that he thought that he could sell that his results were so great, and the scientist comes out and says,
by the way,
this in no way judges IQ.
Remember when he congratulated Frederick Douglass for a job well done?
Yes.
Look it up.
Yeah, but Biden confused Putin and Zelensky. We need to elect people who are a little sharper.
Yeah.
You think?
Well, you know, that has nothing to do with age.
Yeah.
Your age does not dictate how sharp you
He
are.
thinks windmills
How
cause
sharp
cancer.
you are dictates how
He
sharp
thinks
you
that
are.
sunlight can cure COVID. Windmills cause cancer.
Well, I didn't say he was the brightest
He
bulb
doesn't
on the
know anything.
chandelier. I just said the chandelier is big.